Number 2, Todd McClay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, what steps is the government taking to support jobs as part of its program to build a more productive and competitive economy?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, data today showing 7.3% unemployment underscores the importance of the government's broad investment program and policy program that is supporting jobs, building infrastructure and increasing the productive capacity of the economy. This is challenging when the world economy is struggling to gain momentum. Today's unemployment data has been above market expectation, but doesn't change the government's plans to continue to back businesses to make the decision to employ another person, invest another dollar and help reduce unemployment.
Todd McClay.
To the Minister, how does New Zealand's unemployment rate compare to other nations?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, can I say in the first place that the unemployment...
Order. I apologise to the Minister. The member asking the question had a perfect right to ask the question. It was not a provocative question. It sought information, and we don't need that level of interjection. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, can I first say that the unemployment rate is, of course, too high. We want an economy where it is easier for people who are looking for jobs to find them. New Zealand's unemployment rate is equal with Canada, lower than the US, lower than Finland, and much lower than the euro area unemployment rate of 11.5%. The OECD average unemployment is 8%. We do face significant headwinds as government and households rein in their spending and increase savings at the same time as dealing with an elevated exchange rate and a sluggish world economy. We are on track for moderate growth in the short to medium term, and we will continue to work to ensure that there are the best conditions possible for businesses to employ more people.
The Honourable David Parker.
With 175,000 New Zealanders now unemployed and unemployment at the highest rate of 7.3% since 1999, when he was Minister of Finance under Jenny Shipley. Is it the highest since then?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, I haven't checked those facts, but I can tell the member one interesting fact. In 1999, there were 150,000 people on the unemployment benefit, and today, at a similar rate of unemployment, there are only 50,000 people on the unemployment benefit. And with respect to these figures, one story that doesn't quite fit is that the HLFS today shows an increase in unemployment, mainly driven by increases in unemployment in Auckland, but the number of people on unemployment benefit in Auckland is actually dropping. And we've yet to find out why both of those things are happening at the same time.
The Honourable David Parker.
Does he believe his brighter future plan to create 170,000 more jobs is working, given that unemployment is 7.3%, the highest rate in 13 years, and the number of unemployment at 175,000 is the highest number in 20 years? The
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, yes, we do believe the plan is working because in the face of a slowing global economy, New Zealand continues to create more jobs. It has a higher employment rate than Australia and more New Zealanders in work than it has ever had. And for those who are looking for jobs, the infrastructure team in Christchurch is on the road around New Zealand trying to fill 1,000 places. And I invite young New Zealanders in particular to apply for those jobs.
Todd McClay.
Supplementary to the Minister. How is the government's investment through the business growth agenda supporting jobs?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, the government is investing itself through growth and its through the business growth agenda and its wider investment program. And just to give some examples, there are 2,000 jobs in the rollout of ultra-fast broadband, 1,600 jobs in the Transpower grid upgrade. There will be 1,000 jobs at the peak of the Wirri prison construction. We're expected 1,300 jobs at the peak of horizontal infrastructure rebuild in Christchurch, and an estimated 1,000 jobs over the next 4 years on the Woodaview motorway. This is employment the government is providing directly through its extensive infrastructure investment program.
The Honourable David Parker.
Does he agree that with long-term unemployment up 12.5% in the year to September 2012, long-term unemployment is the biggest cause of welfare dependency in New Zealand?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, no I don't. It is one cause, but as the government's welfare reform process has illustrated, the core of there are large groups of people in long-term welfare dependency, such as sickness beneficiaries. No, actually, they went up strongly under the Labour government, even when the economy was growing fast. And despite the patchy growth of this recovery, those numbers on benefits are stable or dropping.
Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Speaker, in response to an earlier supplementary, the Minister said he could not remember the unemployment rate in 1999.
Order. There's not remotely a point of order emerging from this. There is nothing to do with the proceedings of the House. It seems the Minister wants to either add information or dispute information, and I'm prepared to accept I'm wrong, and I'll give the member a chance, but he must indicate very quickly what the issue of order is. The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, with respect, the Minister seems to have contradicted his own memory and therefore may have misled the House, Mr Speaker.
Order, that is not a point of order. Order, it is nothing to do with the procedures of the House. The member's trying to make a political point, and that's not a point of order.
The Honourable David Parker.
Which does he think is the worst indictment of his government? The abject failure to meet his target of 170,000 more jobs, the record 175,000 unemployed, or the record 170,000 people who've left to Australia since he promised he would reduce the number?
The Honourable Bill English.
None of those, Mr Speaker. Some indications of some of those. One indication of
Order. I guess the members, if they ask the question, I imagine they want to hear the answer. The Honourable Bill English.
I think they think the one that shouts the loudest will get David Shearer's job. But in the end, they're all just Davids.
Order. Now, I've called on the opposition not to interject so much, and the minister's now getting provocative. That ain't going to help. The Honourable Bill English, please, to answer the question.
Speaker, the answer to the the member's question is none. But for the member's benefit, some indications are of success. That the number of people on benefits was 354,000 in January 2010, and it is currently now 320,000. Significant drop. The number of people on the unemployment benefit
I beg your pardon, the right point of order, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr Speaker, the Minister for Finance was asked which was the worst indicator. He said none of the three that he was given were, and now he's gone straight off the question and talking about something else.
Order. I believe the Minister was asked not which was the worst, which he considered was his best achievement, I think, was the worst achievement. I apologise. The worst achievement. But the Minister is perfectly entitled to say none of the above, but he should probably indicate if the order. But he should probably, if he says none of the above, indicate which is his worst achievement. The Honourable Bill English.
Okay. Well, Mr Speaker, the worst indicator is that the number of people on benefits has dropped from 354,000 in January 2010 to 320,000 in September 2012.
The Honourable David Parker.
Mr Speaker, if the government's record of 175,000 is not its worst indicator, if the record 170,000 leaving for Australia is not its worst indicator, and if its failure to achieve its target of 170,000 new jobs is not its worst indicator, what is its worst indicator?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, as I've said, we believe that the indicators that we need to strive much harder to achieve more are an increase in the number of jobs. There aren't enough jobs out there for people who are looking for them. But it's pleasing to note we're making progress on the decrease in the number of people who are unemployed. For instance, the number on the unemployment benefit in January 2010 was 68,000, and today it is...
Order. There was a very simple question asked, and I think the Minister did answer that, and because it was such a simple question, that should be the end of the answer. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
I know on occasion I've criticised you for assisting ministers explaining to the House, but on this occasion I don't think anyone on this side heard the Minister indicate what he thought the worst indicator was.
No, I think
so he couldn't have answered it.
No, Order. The Minister did. He indicated that the worst indicator was the issue of job creation, of job availability, the indicator that caused the government the most concern, and that was his interpretation of what the worst indicator was from the government's perspective. Question number 3, Richard Prosser. Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, I see